In a letter to the governor's task force, Senator Kevin Ranker outlines actions he believes must prioritize recovery action for the southern resident killer whales. They include reducing the risk of oil spills, establishing a permit system for recreational whale watching, and limiting commercial vessels. Double the distance boats can be in front or behind the whales from 200 yards to 400 yards, establish no-go zones and slow-go zones around San Juan Island, increase funding for hatcheries and fish habitat, and consider removing dams like the ones on the lower Snake River. Ranker admits many of the issues have faced whale recovery for years with no action, but he believes this time it's different.
What's different now is those same scientists have tears in their eyes. They're saying, we have got to act. And so enough with studying things, enough with having more conversation. It is time to act. And I believe what is different this time, and I have hope and faith that this is true, is that more people are awake. So just like, millions of people have been protesting in the streets about all sorts of issues from, women's health to immigrants issues to so on, people have been protesting in the streets about environmental protection in general. And people have been protesting in the streets and really up in arms about this issue with our southern resident whales, and not just here in Washington State. I'm getting phone calls, emails, and contacts from people all over the globe. And so what is different this time is more people are awake and more people are paying attention.
After the loss of J50 last week, Ranker says there's no time to wait. The southern resident killer whales now number just 74, with very few reproducing. And Ranker says extinction is not an option. In Seattle, I'm Alison Morrow, King 5 News.